How's everybody doing? Oh my goodness, guys. As you can see today, it is a lovely day. Sunshine. So let's get ready. Guys, I'm getting ready to go out now and bask in that sun. The sun is gorgeous, okay? So let's go. Subscribe, like, and share. And leave me comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this particular video. So guys, I'm just getting ready to go out to do some content in this gorgeous sunshine. Okay, so we're gonna take a long journey. Okay, so this particular live stream starts here. All right, guys, and then we are going to end up um, somewhere else. Okay, guys, let's see where we go, guys. Welcome everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah. Please subscribe, like, and share as you all come in, and please do leave me comments in the comment section below. Welcome everybody. Yeah, so we are not staying indoors, so I'm just starting this particular live stream, guys, over here indoors, but then we are gonna go out and do one or two things and then enjoy the sunshine. Yes, guys. So I'm gonna say this again: good morning, good evening, good afternoon. All this depends on your time zone. So if you're new here, welcome, and remember, please remember to subscribe and to like as well, to like my channel. And for all of you, my regular subscribers and viewers, thank you so much for your continued support. So how's everybody doing, guys? I hope you're all well. Oh, what a beautiful Saturday afternoon, guys. What a beautiful Saturday afternoon. So it's just before 1 o'clock p.m., 1 p.m. London time. Uh, yeah, and the sun is absolutely gorgeous out there, guys. Subscribe, like, and share. Subscribe, like, and share, people, as you come in. So how's everybody? How's everybody today? I'm actually doing okay. I'm doing well, alright? Um, yeah, who wouldn't be doing well with that sunshine, guys? I hope you understand what I am talking about. Hi, Sandra. Hi. Uh, yes, guys, so we are going to be going out in nature, but not just in nature. We are going to be getting on an Uber in a little while. We are going to be getting in an Uber in a little while. And yeah, we are going to be going out, guys. So subscribe, please, like, and share. And anyway, I am going to proceed to talk about the stuff I was talking about yesterday. In fact, I think for most of this weekend and most of next week, okay, I am going to be exposing some stuff here. So guys, subscribe, like, and share. I haven't yet, guys, I'm not yet talking to make sense out of these issues, okay, that I started this week, okay, regarding abuse, regarding crimes that have been committed against me. I haven't yet started to talk, not in detail, okay, but it's time to really get myself organized and put my story out here. You know why I'm doing this? Obviously, it's for uh, awareness. Okay, it's for awareness, because you know what? If it happened to me, probably a lot of people have gone through it, or people can go through it, in the future. So this is to bring awareness. Um, Hi, Christina, Maria, Marin. Hi, thank you so much. Have you subscribed, Christina? If you haven't, please do me the honors and subscribe, like, and share. Oh, if you can share, okay? Subscribe to my channel. Yeah, so guys, yeah. Why am I talking about these things, guys? I'm talking about these things to bring awareness, and because sometimes people don't have a voice, okay? People's voices are taken away by the abuser, and they're unable to speak, and then they just accept that they can't speak up. But I do have a voice, and then I also happen to have a platform, okay? So let me say this to you guys. If you are one of those people who has experienced the things I'm talking about, please, 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 uh, don't, you know, don't isolate yourself, and don't think that nobody will listen to you. Trust me, there's good people out there, okay? Not everybody is a criminal, okay? People will listen to you, all right? And okay, so ensure that, because I'm aware sometimes you are talking like I'm talking like this. This is on a social media platform. There could be people who are going to come across my video in the future, or you are you are maybe watching me right now. You've heard about somebody going through the sort of things that I've been talking about, or you are going through those things yourself, and sometimes you think, oh, am I imagining these things, okay, or are these things really happening to me? Yeah, because the abusers, you see, these um, organized crimes can be brutal. Yeah, it's organized crime, and the whole point is to affect you, okay? Is to affect your mind, is to affect your emotions, yeah, and even to affect your physical health. So it's important that, guys, you talk about um, your experiences, okay? You don't know who you are helping when you talk about what you are going through. So, see, as you can see, I don't want to do this live stream indoors, okay? I just want to get ready, and then I go out. The weather is absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. We are going to be talking about these things out in nature, but I also have plans to go, to go somewhere I need to go, okay? So you guys are going to be coming with me on this particular live stream, okay? So welcome to live chat. Remember to that. Okay. Yeah. Oh, hi Maureen. Hi, hi, hi. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. If you are just joining me, please remember to subscribe, to like as well. And if you are able to, please do share. Okay, guys. So yeah, we are going to be going out in a short while, okay? And we are going to be enjoying that sunshine. Now, guys, before we do that, though, I need to talk about something very important, okay? Before I lose track of some of the things that I was thinking about, that I didn't include in yesterday's video. So, guys, let me say this. Guys, okay, I don't even know how to put this across, but I'm just not going to start randomly. I have to have context, okay? But obviously context is, I'm just continuing the sort of information I've been putting out here on my YouTube, okay, on my social media. It's turned itself off, okay. Bye, guys. I think it's the sunshine as well, okay. Yeah, so anyway, guys, as I was saying, we are going to be taking this live stream outside, okay. We are going to be taking this live stream outside, out in nature, and we are going to be going out. So please, please subscribe, like, and share. Okay, as you come in, if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe, like and share, and leave me comments in the comment section below. So guys, as I was saying that, uh, I'd started talking about some of these horrific experiences that I've had in the hands of these people running organized crime. Okay, um, so let me talk a little bit, guys, about my previous landlord. So guys, I if you live in London, okay, hi Abigail, hi. So if you live in London, guys, um, maybe you know a place called Staines, okay? If you live in London or you know about London, there's a place called Staines. Apparently, it comes under Surrey, okay, and the borough of what do you call it? Spelthorne. That's the borough. Guys, I lived in Staines up until June last year. Okay, I did not consent to move to this particular address in Staines. I was forced moved there. So, just in case those of you are watching from outside the UK, you know, who first moved me there? Because you might be wondering. So I don't want to leave any doubts in what I'm saying, because you might be thinking, but why would anybody force you, and why would you agree? So guys, I approached the borough I lived under. At this time, okay, I lived in Bexley or Orpington, okay, but the borough I was under was actually Bexley, okay. So I approached them for housing, okay, and because I was going to be I was being threatened with homelessness, okay, because I wasn't at work for starters, due to these long-standing issues, okay. I hadn't been to work, so I approached the borough of Bexley regarding housing, okay. So social housing, and you know how councils also work with partners, okay, in terms of housing. Like if they can't obviously provide you with social housing, okay, they will find other ways to link you up with the people they call partners, okay, so that you are housed. They assist you. So what the London Borough of Bexley did was that at that time, okay, I just gone through a divorce, okay, and that is why I was being threatened with homelessness, okay, because I had to move out from the home that I lived in with my ex-husband and my children, okay. So what happened was, guys, I was there was okay, my ex-husband put notice, okay, behind my back, not even letting me know he had put notice to the landlord, okay, in Bexley, the house in Bexley, that we were going to move out, okay. And yeah, this time around the divorce papers had come through, and he didn't want me to go my way, okay. He wanted me to move in with him to this property that he had found, but he had received court papers already saying we are now divorced, okay. Hence why I was forced with homelessness, okay. So there was a lot of domestic violence there, okay, guys, in terms of cohesive control, okay, in terms of cohesive control. So some of you, I don't know if you know that if if somebody is actually actively going around and affecting your working life, your employment, so that you don't work, so that you are unable to work and pay your way through life, that is a form of is cohesive control. It's known as domestic violence, okay, in the form of cohesive control. So this is what was happening, okay. So my ex was actually now scared of putting his hands on me, okay, or doing these things directly. So he started to use cohesive control, okay. And this cohesive control, he owns a business, okay, and this business that he owns, there's a pub in his business, and opposite his business, okay, that there's a police station, all right, there's a police station. And I don't know these police officers, but they would go into his pub, he would give them beer for free. So he used them. He used one or two of those. And let me make it clear here, guys. Please, 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 don't hate the police, okay? Because I'll tell you something. Not all police officers are corrupt. There's good police officers out there, okay, who are simply doing their job, and they would hate to hear these sort of stories. You understand? These are the crimes that they would even want to go after and stop them. Okay? So, as I was saying in my previous video, that in every trade, whether be it an accounting firm, be it in the healthcare system, be it any firm you look at, okay, in any industry, there is going to be those rotten apples, there is going to be those rotten bunch, okay. In the peanuts, there is going to be a rotten bunch. In the apple tree, there is going to be a few rotten apples. So um when I'm talking about a police officer being the one who is actually leading this crime, okay, don't think that all policemen and women are actually corrupt. No, don't. Okay, because sometimes the police have to arrest their own. You understand that? But it also gives any police force a bad reputation. So you must understand that sometimes the even if sometimes you search for these issues online, you will find that sometimes the police force has to. Hi, guys. Hi. Apologies again, guys. Apologies. Um, my. Okay, sorry, guys. My phone is heating up on this window, okay? So anyway, but we are gonna go out. This is going to be maybe a 3 to 4 hours recording, okay, guys? Not that I'll be recording 3 to 4 hours straight. No, I'm going to have moments where I pause the video, okay, and then start again. But you don't want to miss the details of this, the things that I'm saying, unless you want to rewatch the whole thing. And I don't know if I'm gonna edit out some of the things, okay? So just stay put, okay? Share this video, guys. Share this video so that other people can listen, okay? Share this video so that other people can listen, okay, guys? Because you just never know. If this has never happened to you, praise God for that, okay? I thank God for you. If this sort of thing has never happened to you, I really, really do thank God for you. But just because it has never happened to you, it doesn't mean that I'm the only one who's have had to face this sort of thing, okay? And it doesn't mean that, nobody else will ever face it. Guys, this is a very important video, okay? And share it, okay? Invite your friends and family. You need to listen to this video because, so that that these things happen, and I'm just bringing awareness. I am just bringing awareness to you guys. Okay, I don't even know where I left it from, but yeah, guys, unfortunately, the phone did heat up again. Now I've had to take it off the window, off the sun, okay, so that it doesn't heat up again, because obviously my live streams are being interrupted because of the blackout. Anyway, guys, let's proceed. So as I was saying, guys, that don't hate the police, okay? Yes, the person that's responsible, that's been running this crime, this gang organized crime, is indeed a police officer. Not just one police officer, but he's actually literally brought in other few officers like him who are corrupt like him, okay? And I don't know what he said to them, okay? But you know what? Everybody chooses. We all choose our behavior, how we are going to conduct ourselves, whether it's on the job, you choose. For example, if you are an accountant, right, you choose your behavior, okay? You are going to choose your behavior. If you're an accountant and you work for an accounting firm, you are going to choose your behavior. At the end of the day, right, you don't you don't commit crime because other people in the accounting firm are actually committing crime. So you choose your behavior. So similarly, guys, sorry guys, I think I'm just going to do this. Okay, so yeah, guys, like I'm saying, that we all are going to choose our behavior, right? So it's the same thing, right? With if you work in an accounting firm, and an accountant friend of yours decide that they are going to defraud customers, or they're going to defraud the company. So some of these police officers, that the main culprit that is as organized is doing organized crime, okay, on me, recruiting criminals from the justice system. These are criminals that he knows, okay. So now he's not operating alone. There's a few police officers that have joined him, okay, guys. So he's not operating alone, in other words. So yeah. So don't hate the police. The whole police force per se, or any police force per se, isn't involved in that. It's unfortunate that they don't know that when they send some of their officers to work, some of these police officers engage in criminal behavior. Okay, these are crimes that they are employed to stop, but then they become the criminal themselves. What happens, guys, when a police officer now becomes the criminal, okay? And pretending they are going about in the streets and doing their job, and yet they are victimizing people in these streets that they are supposed to be, they're supposed to be stopping crime. What happens when a police officer is involved? This is why my story is so complicated, because behind it there is a police officer who has ensured that I can't report these crimes. For example, when something bad happens to me, you know what? And when I need to report to the police, He is hacked into my phones. He is hacked into my emails. He wants to know what it is I'm emailing about. Because before I emailed the Independent Police Commissioner, okay, I also emailed the local MP, okay, to talk about the inhumane treatment that I've been exposed to. So what this police officer does is he then goes into the system and he stops whatever action that police are going to take, okay, in terms of attending to the report that I'm making. So what he does is he starts to contact social services, trying to brand me like insane and mentally unstable. This has been his emphasis. Don't listen to her. No, you know what? She's mentally unstable. And he said a lot. And sometimes he's talking to people that won't engage in organized crimes, okay? But he tells lies, making them believe that I am this an unstable human being. Guys, let me say this to you. I've never been unstable in my life. Never ever. I've never had any mental health challenges. Never before. Okay? But this particular police officer has been running a smear campaign against me to brand me as such. Okay? So, here is some of the things he's done. Remember, I said that he has recruited criminals from the justice system. So guys, this happened in my previous accommodation. So I lived in Staines upon Thames, okay? It's under Surrey, or is it London? I don't know. And it's not far from where I am right now, in Staines upon Thames. And in this particular accommodation, I was forced moved there. I didn't want to move there because number one, I've never lived in an area like that. I don't even have, what do you call it? I didn't even have any history of working or living in that environment. And I didn't have friends or family, okay? So basically, I was forced moved there. And you are wondering, why were you forced moved there? Because this police officer wanted me in a housing situation where he can have access. Okay, where he can have access. What do I mean when I say he put me in accommodation where he can have access? So he wanted to find a criminal landlord and property manager, okay, where they could place surveillance in my bedroom. Yes, guys, literally illegal surveillance. Let me say this to you, those of you that are listening. So you understand that sometimes, even legit police, sometimes they have to do their investigations, okay? When they are dealing with criminals. And let me state this, guys. I have never, I don't have any criminal records. I've never been arrested by police. And I don't have any criminal records, spent or unspent. I'm telling you this. I've never been arrested anywhere in the world. Okay? So those of you that know me, you know me as from my teenage years, from as little as I was, okay? From my little, before I even became a teenager, I was a Christian. Okay? I was a Christian, all right? And there's never been a time where I've gone crazy, and even when I was growing up, and run off with the wrong crowd. Okay? Those of you that are parents, you know that sometimes, especially here in the UK, the environment, how we are trying to raise our children in this country, sometimes, you know, there's a lot that happens in this country. But for me, guys, I never run off with the wrong crowd. Okay? So that is just to tell you, because if I'm listening, if I'll be listening to a similar story, somebody tell their story, what would come to mind is, could it be that I've been in trouble with the police before when I was growing up? No. And guys, right now I'm a parent with young adult children, and I wouldn't start a career in crime at my age. So I'm not saying I'm elderly. I'm not a pensioner. I'm not elderly. But no, if I was going to do things like that, probably those things would have happened when I was a lot younger. Okay, guys. So no, I've never been in trouble with the police before. So you might be wondering, could there be a reason why there are these issues with you with the police? No, never. Never. I do not have a criminal record, and I've never been in trouble with the police before. This is just for me to set the record straight. Okay, guys? So guys, as you listen into this story, subscribe, like, and share. And yeah, guys, we are going to be taking this particular live stream out in nature. We are going to be taking this particular live stream out in nature, guys, because the weather is lovely today, isn't it, guys? So yeah, I just wanted to set that record straight, guys, that I've never been in trouble. I've never been in trouble with the law before. There's no spent or unspent criminal allegations against me. Never ever. So I'm squeaky clean. Okay? Now let's proceed. So guys, yeah, I was first moved to a property in Surrey, in Staines, okay? And this property I was first moved to, this policeman, he's the one responsible for that, okay? He's the one who organized that I be moved to that property. Let me state this, guys. The property itself, I later found out that it belongs to a criminal gang, okay? A criminal gang. They are drug traffickers, human traffickers. They are also, like, what do you call it? They abuse children. Okay, people die, children die, in their hands, and they pretend to be a lot of things. Okay, so this particular property that I was moved to is not even meant for rentals. It's a property that they house this criminal gang that peddle drugs for them. You understand, guys? It's a criminal gang that peddle drugs for them. Not just that. And what happened is, when I was there, guys, I moved in, right? And when I moved in, I found out that for starters, there was 3 women in the property. The other 2 women were mother and daughter. And I kid you not, the mother was like in her nearly 60, like 55, something like that. The daughter was like 40 something, okay? Well, nearly 40 or 40 something, about my age, okay, guys? And so they shared the same little apartment. And you know what, guys? It doesn't work like that. The mother and daughter can't live in a little small apartment and maybe even share the bed, the double bed. It doesn't work like that. It was actually strange. But then I later found out that this mother and daughter were actually criminals. Guys, not just saying they were criminals, okay? Trying to, using that as insults. No, legit criminals known to the police. Okay? So I'll give you an example. The mother and daughter involved. The mother, she's been a heroin addict for many decades. So she introduced her daughter to heroin, okay? When her daughter was only, how old was she? The newspapers say she was it 4? Was it 13? Yeah, at 13 years of age. And some of the newspapers, so you are saying, Sarah, are these people in the newspapers? Yes, they are. Why are they in the newspapers? Does everybody who commit crime go into newspapers? No. Because this woman, right? And you can actually research this as I speak. This woman, right? Her father, he passed away. He was one of the he was in a soap here in the UK called Coronation Street, and his name is it Johnny Briggs? Yeah, Johnny Briggs. Briggs as Briggs. Okay, we know him as an actor, but then he passed away a couple of years ago. So when his daughter, his adult daughter, okay, go shoplifting, for example, in Marks and Spencer, and then she beats up members of staff, automatically the newspapers would then take her story and put it out in the paper. Google her. Her name is Karen Briggs. Google Karen Briggs and Emma Beach. So Emma as Beach as Beach. Karen Briggs and Emma Beach. So this is a mother-daughter combo. So this is how their crimes, like it's over 100 crimes, guys, were then placed in the newspaper. And they've been involved in drug trafficking, shoplifting, stealing bikes at a train station. When people are catching the train, they lock their bikes to catch the train. These two ladies will pick up those bikes. So these women, right, were moved into the accommodation that I moved in. And let me tell you something. First of all, guys, this police officer knew Karen Briggs and Emma Beach. Google them. He knew them. How did he know them? He knew them because of their history, okay? Their history of violence and criminal activities. To the point where, guys, Karen Briggs would, when sent to jail, should even assault jailers, okay? Assault members of staff in jail. Guys, subscribe, like, and share. And please do leave me comments in the comment section below. So, guys, yeah, this Karen Briggs, okay? These are some of the crimes, okay? So, this police officer behind my ordeal, he knows Karen Briggs and her daughter. He knows them very well. So this combo, mother and daughter, okay, criminals, were brought into my accommodation. They're initially the ones that were meant to set me up, okay? At this juncture, guys, I didn't know who Karen Briggs and Emma Beach were. But their behavior towards me, okay, started to get nasty only a few days after I moved in. I was still shy. I was still trying to find my feet, find where I can actually go and, do my shopping. Like when you move into an area, right, you want to know where the off license is, right? So you can buy your bread, milk, and eggs when you run out. So before I could even do that, initially when I moved in, I was actually ordering takeaway, like fish and chips and things like that, because I didn't know my way out. And after parking and to move out from my student accommodation where I was. Then you know what, I was feeling so tired, so I spent some time resting. Okay, I spent some time resting a few days before I even got out. Karen Briggs had been recruited, and her daughter Emma, they had been recruited to set me up. Okay, so under the disguise that they were my neighbors, okay, and taking advantage of the fact that I didn't know who they were. Okay, so Karen Briggs and her daughter Emma, guys, this is what they started to do. Okay, guys, this is what they started to do in that accommodation. So Karen Briggs and her daughter Emma, they would knock on my door and just starting trouble. They seemed to know me. This was before I actually, you know, got out of my apartment. So my apartment was self-contained, okay? I had my own little stove. I had my own shower, okay? My own loo, bathroom. So I didn't share facilities with anybody, because every apartment had its own little stove, its own little shower, and things like that. So I hadn't met anybody, okay? And I didn't have any bins to get rid of, so I could meet people in the hallway. So because I hadn't done any shopping yet, all I was doing is really, the only time I would get out was to go to order my takeaway, and as soon as the takeaway arrives, um, I would pick it up. But how long does it take, guys, to pick up your takeaway from downstairs? Because I lived upstairs. It's only a few seconds, right? Exactly. So Uber, I would order it on Uber, or any other app, that delivers food, basically. So that is how it all started, guys. So Emma Beach and her daughter Karen Briggs, okay, were hired by this police officer to abuse me, to set me up. Okay, then I didn't know that, as I said, these two women, right, mother and daughter, they shared the same little apartment. Guys, it doesn't work like that. If you are watching me from outside the UK, this is a mother who is like 50 something, nearly 60, and her daughter in her 40s, okay? And she has children, apparently. I don't know who she left her kids with when she came to move in, obviously, to do whatever this police officer had hired them to do. So, you know what? I didn't know, because they would knock on my door. Because you see, guys, you can't have trouble with somebody that you haven't been physically around, can you? It's impossible. So you can't start trouble with somebody that you haven't met physically. Because I'm in my apartment, and they know that I am in my apartment, and so they are watching. Because remember, I'm also talking about the fact that there was a breach of my privacy. So I was actually being surveillanced. Okay, so Karen Briggs and her daughter had access to me. Okay, they had access to me, and this access had been made available to them by the same police officer. So this police officer colluded with the landlord and the property manager. They colluded, okay, to put surveillance into my accommodation. I can tell you that before I even moved into that apartment, okay, they had set up whatever they had set up in my apartment. Okay, guys, please subscribe like and share. And yeah, so basically Karen Briggs and her daughter, they would be watching me and then knock on my door. Okay, knock on my door because they can see everything I'm doing, including emails I'm sending out and emails I'm receiving in. Okay, so this police officer, the people that he's been recruiting, is ensured that they have access to me by way of illegal surveillancing, okay, into my private space. Okay, guys, so this is what how perverted this individual is. Okay, so at this time, I only thought the people that were causing me trouble only a few days after I moved in were this mother and daughter combo. Beknown to me, there was the rest of the house, the rest of the building, it was all men. And these are not men with jobs. These are not men that maybe, these are supposed to be neighbors or whichever way you want to call it. So these are men who are actually criminals. Okay? We are talking about pedophiles, rapists. Okay? People who have been arrested and charged for stalking and harassing, for stalking women, okay, and harassing them, and then that being proved for years. Okay, so these are some of the crimes that these people were involved in, why they went to prison. So this particular police officer had criminals like that into my accommodation. He handpicked these individuals, like Karen Briggs, for example, into my accommodation because he knows what they are capable of, the level of crimes they are capable of, and the type of crimes that they've been committing, guys. Guys, subscribe, like, and share, and leave me comments in the comment section below. Okay, guys? So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, people. Later on, I found out that the ringleader in the house, okay, where I lived in the apartment, my apartment was in a building with other apartments. So this ringleader is actually a man, okay? He's of Asian descent, okay? He called himself Harry. No, his name isn't Harry. His name is Harishim, something along those lines, okay? So, and another black man, very, very violent. His name is David Griffith. I'm going to be giving names here. David Griffith. So David Griffith and Harisham, okay? These people were the ones that were now hacked. I don't know whether they were the ones who were recruited to hack into my stuff and to put the surveillancing things. Because some of these people, for example, Karen Briggs and her daughter Emma Beach, they were, addicts. They are addicts. If they're still alive, okay, they are addicts, and they are known to police. Okay, guys, and I remember when I mentioned Karen Briggs and daughter Emma, the police went, "What? You are around Karen Briggs and and her daughter Emma Beach?" I said, "Why?" He says, "These are ugly people." And we are not talking about ugly as in the way people look. No, these it's the crimes that they've committed and they keep committing, within society. These crimes are horrific. Hi, Juliana. So yeah, guys, let me note that let me focus on on telling my story, guys, so you know where this came from, okay? But it didn't start here on this particular story I'm telling, okay? There's history of it, okay? So, yeah, guys, I later found out that these men were actually telling, because the whole house now was full of criminals, and these criminals, some of them are drug addicts, okay? Some of them are drug addicts. I remember a man died in that house, okay? He died in the house. The death was never reported. Nobody called the police. Nobody called the ambulance. To date, guys, I don't even know how the landlord and the property manager and the criminals in the apartment, in the building, got rid of this man's dead body. Okay, guys? So this man was actually a complete addict. I don't even know how he died. But there was a black van that arrived to pick up his body. Nobody called the ambulance, nobody called the police, the police never even attended the property. So guys, you must understand that the house I lived at in Staines upon Thames, okay, it's a house belonging to a criminal, a gang. Let me give you the name of the company. They come under Timberfield Limited, I think. They also, but when I had to go to court with them, they call themselves Victoria Rise. No, guys, they are not into property. They are into human trafficking. They are drug peddling. Okay, there is sexual abuse, even a molestation of children. Okay, so this particular police officer brought me in the hands of this criminal gang through my university. Can you believe, guys, that my university, the University of West London, got involved in this? I was doing nursing. I was doing my master's in nursing, meaning I was doing both adult and mental health nursing. So this particular police officer paid guys, members of staff, senior members of staff, okay, on my course, the nursing, okay, paid them money, bribed them to get me out of the university. Guys, subscribe, like, and share. West London University. So initially, guys, let me tell you this. Initially, I was studying in Reading. That is where my campus was. Okay, but then I had to move to London. Okay, so the university is actually in Ealing, St. Mary's Road as well. So these particular members of staff were recruited by this police officer. Guys, subscribe, like, and share. I am telling you, am I saying, so guys, be very careful, okay? Not to think that all policemen are criminals. It doesn't work like that. Can you imagine that this particular police officer, he managed to infiltrate my university? I don't know what type of lies he told them, but clearly it became apparent that he just didn't use lies to sort of like get me withdrawn from my course of study. No, they were actually bribed. So they knew I didn't do anything wrong. And they knew that what this police officer was, they knew that it was gang related organized crime. Okay, guys, so students in my university were also recruited. Guys, when I drive in my car, these students would get into their car. They did shifts, okay? They would be pursuing me. It doesn't matter where I'm going. They'll be pursuing me. Up to 20, 25, 30, 50 cars of students. Okay, guys? And when I stop, For example, if I have to stop at a petrol station, there'll be 50 cars, some of them queuing because we can't all fit. And if I have to get some water or some refreshments after I've, filled my tank, with, they would also come out. Guys, this particular police officer, he's the most wicked individual I have seen. But remember, I have also said that he has also recruited other police officers. So don't hate the police. We need the police force. Any country you live at, if you don't have a police force, you know your country isn't safe to live in. Okay? But there's going to be a few rotten apples. And I can say that the masterminder to my abuse, he is more than a rotten apple. He is just, I can't even describe him. He's not fit to be in any society. He's not even fit to work anywhere or to live anywhere except behind bars where, they keep an eye on him, because nobody is safe with an individual that is capable of organizing such severe gun crime against one woman. So yes, guys, I was at the university, and let me tell you something, guys. In the past, I've done courses such as pharmacy, okay? I've done business management, and I've passed with flying colors. I've also gone on to start, executive MBA, and being one of the best students and helping other students. Okay, so I've never have found learning challenging. Okay, I've always been a bright student. Now, and I've never been accused of the sort of things that this police officer then did when he used members of staff at the university, at the University of West London. Guys, be careful not to ever find yourself in a university called the University of West London. Okay? If you have to go to university, please don't pick it as a choice. Okay? Don't pick it as a choice. I know that there are many departments in any university. Okay? There are many but for me, I was doing masters in nursing. Okay, so basically, I was enrolled to do my masters, meaning I was doing both adult nursing and mental health nursing. Okay, that is a combo, and that is why it's a masters. Guys, subscribe, like, and share. Hi, Esther. So yeah, guys, as I was saying, right, this police officer infiltrated my university. He got people to lie. For example, one of the tutors that he used this tutor on my last day of first term. Okay. I'm not going to get into detail about that today, okay? I'm going to get into detail about it later, because I'll be mentioning names here. I will be mentioning names here, okay? So yeah, he had me withdrawn from my studies under false accusations, okay? Under false accusations. And guys, another thing I would like to mention before I move on is that whilst I was in this university, there was certain coursework that we would be completing online. It's like it's like a timed sort of like assessment test. Okay, guys, when I was doing those assessment tests, somebody was actually in my system was hacked. Okay, and you know, you had to pass 100%, okay? So I would even screenshot my answers. For some reason, answers would be changed so that I fail one or two. Instead of getting 100%, I've got like 98% or 99%. So yeah, so this was happening to me, guys, because they wanted me to look like I was incapable of of passing that course. This is crime, guys, and some of the students around me and the tutors alike, guys, the adrenaline, they were so excitable knowing that they were actually committing these crimes behind my back. Okay, stalking me, doing all kinds of things behind my back, trying to isolate me, okay, trying to make me feel some type of way. They had no idea that I knew what was going on. But these people were so excited. They were so excited about what they were doing. Anyway, guys, let's proceed. So this police officer now planned my withdrawal from my studies and my removal from my student accommodation. Okay? And then they organized to move me to the apartment in Staines, where now they placed actual criminals that have been served sentences in prison. Okay, all these people are criminals, okay? And I'm actually wondering that some of these students are still in university today. Some of them have graduated. I'm actually wondering how these individuals are actually going to work or are working in hospitals right now. Okay, but then, okay, some of these university authorities, okay, are training nurses, are actually criminals themselves, training criminals to look after vulnerable patients in hospitals. Guys, subscribe, like, and share. Subscribe, like, and share. This is the level of criminality that I have had to endure. Now, this particular police officer, guys, he's been running a smear campaign, especially when I speak up to those people who won't get involved in crime, that he can't recruit, that I was mentally unstable. Yes, guys, these are the sort of false information that he was spreading. Guys, subscribe, like, and share, and leave comments down the comment section below. Yeah, guys, now when I was now forced moved into the apartment I moved away from. As I said, I was talking about Karen Briggs and her daughter Emma Beach, criminals that have saved. I've gone to jail more than 20 times in their lifetime. Okay, they've never lived a normal life. For example, hold a job, or it's been jail because they chose to be criminals. And in fact, guys, if you Google Karen Briggs and her daughter Emma Beach, you find that when Johnny Briggs, Karen Briggs' father, died, he in fact didn't include her in the will. He didn't include her in the will. Read it's online. It's online. Who put it online? The newspaper. The reason why he didn't include her in the will is also stated in the newspapers, that the father said, if I leave you any money, you will sniff it up your nose, meaning she will buy drugs, okay, and sniff them up her nose. Okay, that's how serious this is, guys. So yeah, guys, by now, if you've researched Karen Briggs, the type of criminals that this particular police officer recruited. If you have Googled that, I think you found out by now who she is, right? So yeah, now let's proceed. So I was first moved to this accommodation, okay? And yeah, who first moved me there? As I said before I went to the University of West London, I went through a divorce and I approached the London Borough of Bexley, okay, to basically for housing, okay. And then this same particular officer, before I went to university, he then colluded with a member of staff. Her name is Adele Baker, or Baker, I don't know how you pronounce that. A member of staff at Bexley, the London Borough of Bexley. Who this particular officer, colluded with this member of staff to send me to Yorkshire in Durham for housing in the middle of nowhere. At this time, guys, I was in fact waiting to start university. So I had no plans to move to Yorkshire. I have no roots in Yorkshire, no family, no one single friend in Yorkshire. So yeah, so how did this officer do that? So initially he assaulted me, okay? He physically assaulted me on the 18th of February 2021. And that is the same time when this girl called Sarah Everett had been murdered by one of a police force, okay? From the same police force that has been abusing me, that is involved in this, my ordeal, okay? So that officer murdered Sarah Everett, right? Before he moved to diplomatic protection. He worked for the Bromley police before he was transferred to diplomatic, whatever, protection. Yeah. So after that assault, okay, he tried to accuse me to have assaulted him. Okay, I sat through the interview. There was no sign from his body cam that I had assaulted him. But then the only signs that were there, it was the brutal treatment that I was exposed to, the way I was treated. And after this issue, I wanted to see the superintendent at the police station in Bromley. So that is how this police officer then organized. He knew about my plans about the fact that I'd applied for housing. Okay, so he simply found whoever was dealing with my housing application, and they made plans to move me to Yorkshire into an abandoned house. Okay, that is an abandoned house that is in disrepair. Guys, subscribe, like, and share, and leave me comments down the comment section below. So if you're only joining me here, hi, my name is Sarah. Welcome to my channel, guys. Okay, so as you know, before all of this, I'd been enrolled into university to start university, okay? To start on my nursing program, doing my master's, doing both mental health and adult nursing. Okay, guys? So, yeah, this is what happened, guys. All right? So this particular police officer now, he was in charge. He was literally running my life, controlling what I can and cannot do, where I can and cannot live. So guys, You know that, right? Nobody. So everywhere I would access any service, be it the healthcare, be it the, the benefit system, be it the healthcare, the benefit system, and even just the job market itself. He would intercept, and you know. So, yeah, nobody else can do that, okay, except him as a policeman and other police officers that he brought in, okay, to do that to me. Okay, guys? So, nobody would have that level of power, okay, outside, unless, you know, they are a policeman of some sort, okay, or some authority figure of some sort. So this is why this crime is more complicated. But even though it's this complicated, right? Those people, landlords, property managers, neighbors, the communities I've lived under, it doesn't make it right. It is crime. Some of them accepted, some of them took the role in my accommodation to poison my food. Yes, guys, these things have happened to me, and it's important that I bring awareness. Anyway, let's move on. I digress. So while I was in this accommodation, guys, while I was in this accommodation in an apartment in Staines upon Thames, okay? This apartment belongs to Timberfield Limited, or I don't know, Victoria Rise, okay, guys? That is what I found out when I had to go to court. They brought in criminals from the justice system, some of them being released early, and some of them, as I said, they are pedophiles, rapists, okay, repeated offenders. These are men and women. So these are men, some of them 50 plus, going on to their 60s. Some of these men are in their 60 plus, okay? So they were brought into that accommodation, and I believe some of them were in their 40s, but in no time, they reoffended. And I don't know, they just disappeared. Even people who didn't live there, for example, hitmen were brought in. Sometimes I'm leaving my apartment. A hitman leaves a certain room that I know is vacant, holding a rope. So they were meant to abduct me as well. So I talked about Karen Briggs a little bit. Karen Briggs, as I said, they were drug addicts. If you've Googled them, now you found out who they are. So Karen Briggs and her daughter Emma Beach, when they are drunk and high on drugs, they started to inform me what they were doing behind my back. They'll talk about how they were recruited and how much they were being paid to do what they were doing to me. Okay, guys, subscribe, like, and share. And they threatened that basically there was plans to kidnap me. So I just didn't get up from my sleep and started to make these claims. Okay, this was when Karen Briggs and Emma Beach were drunk. And they would even say, even if you report to the police, because I used to call the police to report these issues, they would say the police won't listen to you because the police are involved. So the police they were talking about is these, corrupt officers, okay? That some of them were joined in with their corrupt police officer colleague, and the number grew, okay? So these men now, in addition to Karen Briggs and her daughter, okay, eventually Karen Briggs and her daughter were arrested, okay, for other crimes. Okay, They assaulted a woman on the streets, and they were told not to enter Surrey. So the accommodation is in Surrey. The apartment I'm talking about, I moved away from, in Staines, it's in Surrey. So the judge told them, he granted them bail and told them that they are not to enter Surrey. So when they were in fact attacking me, they were not supposed to be at the accommodation, okay? And they were not supposed to be at the accommodation because the judge had clearly told them not to. It's actually online. The bail conditions are online. Check them out. So I'm not making up a story. I'm not making up a story. And each time I spoke up, okay, this police officer and some of the people he has recruited, including in my accommodation, places I've lived, is to say, tell people that, accuse Sarah that she's mentally unstable, she's talking like she's crazy. And some of these people in my accommodation, they've taken those words and told people that something mentally wrong was going on with me when it was a lie. Lady or gentlemen, you need to know those crimes you have committed. You don't believe me? You laugh, ha ha ha, he. If you are here watching, I know you do watch me because you know I'm mentioning names. Okay? The police are watching you. The police have got enough evidence. You can't run. They are on your ass right now as I speak. There's no way you can go. All those little runaway plans you are making, trust me, there's nowhere to run. Okay, there's nowhere to run. You've been laughing, right? Some of you, that this corrupt police officer recruited to poison me, to falsely accuse me to be